What does it sound like when you have a Kontakt library that's built off of medieval and ancient sounds like war drums, chanting, swords clashing, chain smashing? Let's take a listen. And a quick thank you to Keep Force for sending me a copy of this for review. It's not a paid video, but it is available on Plugin Boutique. So if you do end up wanting to purchase this, by all means, please use the link in the description. Okay, on the surface, yes, this is a massive Kontakt library, over 50 gigabytes of samples. But what has really impressed me is that underneath the hood is one, a very powerful sampler, and two, an amazing sequencer. I'm talking, this thing comes packed with over 4,000 MIDI grooves that you can use anywhere you want to. But not only that, there are also two different ways to construct random MIDI sequences. So if we look at the rhythm menu, you have all these different categories to choose from, and it will vary by which setting you have it on. So if you have it in the middle where it shows you both 4/4 and triplet, that's where you're going to see the most. And I mean, look at all these categories. So if you're looking for fills, you got it. You're looking for sound design or just straight drums, all here. Or you can hedge your bets on picking random, but there's also construct random. And what this does is that based on the category that you have selected, so let's say we go to fills. If you go to construct random from here, and then from there, if you didn't want that first section, you wanted it to start at the halfway mark here, let's just do that. Then you can tweak it real quick, go to randomize velocity. Click over to the layers tab. This is a really, really cool feature. So what this is going to do is you have this threshold meter here, and this is based on the velocity. So if we slide this and then we click a range, this is going to detect the velocities within that certain threshold. The higher we go, it's not going to detect any. If we go all the way down, it's going to pick up all of them. So if we want to emphasize only certain aspects with the layers, we could do that. So now let's click the layers on. And what that's doing, you'll see here, so that's the doubling and that's the tripling. And this is a perfect segue back into the sampler. So if we go over to the sampler, you're gonna see we have a default mode here, and then we have doubling or tripling. And realistically, what this really helps with, especially with some of the bigger hits, is that it makes it sound a lot bigger by adding even the default values of a slight delay, slight drift, massive increase in width, and then a little bit of a pitch drift as well. So the default sound. Now let's move that over to all the way to tripling. One of the other sections of the sampler here is that you'll notice that this isn't one shots. These are all individual samples. And so what they did was they created a round robin system by using loops inside of the sampler. What this means is that essentially you have one audio file here, but all of the different samples that it can pull from are within that audio file. And that allows you to have these different ways to choose them. So if I hold down the sequence, you're gonna watch and see which ones that it's triggering. Right now it's on shot. Let me put the default on to emphasize it. And the default will go A, B, A, B, A, B. And it's just a really simple way, as always with round robin systems, to give a more realistic sound, especially when you're dealing with rhythm and percussion. Now, within the sequencer, you have the velocity, and without the velocity on, here, let me take the layers off. Without the velocity on, you essentially have this, right? It's not playing a pattern. So if I play a little pattern myself, you see that it's still jumping around through the sampler. What's even crazier is that within this single patch here, right, we're in War Drums, Punchy, Skin Soft. Looking at the keyboard layout, these are all different wave files. One thing that I want to mention really quickly though is that there's no way that I can cover all of this in one video. I mean, if I did, it would be about an hour long at least. So stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be diving deeper into this for my own personal productions and hopefully share some knowledge for you if you're looking to get this. Let me go through a quick demonstration of just tweaking certain aspects of the patch and the groove sequences really start to help build a track. So we got 3 elements going right here. I got my stomps, the war drums, and the wood percussion. So on top of the standard patches, the instruments, there's multis in here that are unbelievable for starting tracks. Whether you're just looking for like a single thing, claps for instance, or you want a whole multi-kit like I have loaded up here. This is the Cyber Tribal Agony of Death one. Then I layered the Cyber Tribal Crimson Bow on top of it. The team behind this, in terms of the sequences and the sound design and everything, like, if I didn't know that that existed, I would never in a million years think that you could create something that sounds like cyberpunk like that out of the samples that are included in this library. Obviously, this is kind of like a construction kit here, but if you layer these two on top of each other, so let me know what you guys think. This is a massive library with endless possibilities, and I can't wait to see what else I come up with. And keep in mind there are 2 versions, the Core and the Pro. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.